Woke up this morning to more baby goats. Well, one more baby goat. This is Hollyhock, and this is her baby Iris. This poor little baby goat. That's Hazelnut down there. That's Iris. But that's Hazelnut. She's not doing so well. She's got a little limp. Actually, she's kind of got a big limp. Both of her left legs seem to be, injured. Maybe that's why. Okay, maybe we know why.
I'll get Hazel.
Well, anyway, I think I know why. You know, it's funny, we were saying how Holly was like a grumpy old lady who didn't like kids. She does not like all the other babies around the farmyard. And now that she has her own, she's being a really, really good mama.
Hey.
So that's really good, but she does not like the other babies, and so maybe that's how Hazel got hurt. We don't know. We just came out one morning and she was limping, and so we've been watching her, but she has a hard time keeping up with the other goats at this point. So we just help her nurse. But the result of that is Almond is now taking care of Cashew, this little one right here, which she was not taking care of before. So I guess she really can only take care of two, I think. So we have to put her in the stand and let her nurse. But we do keep Hazel confined a little bit so that she does not wander around and try to keep up with everyone, so that hopefully her leg will heal. It's not too bad, she just limps. But it's always something, isn't it?
One of the kind of fun tasks that has become a little tedious on the timber frame is to make oak pegs to hold the timber frame together. As we've talked about, you don't use traditional fasteners, and instead we're driving pins into the mortise and tenons to tie everything together. But we need about 80 of them, and they need to be a hardwood, so we've chosen oak. Why oak? One, it's hard, and two, there was a guy on Craigslist who was willing to give me a whole bunch of oak. So step one was to drive to Spokane Valley and get several logs that he had cut that he was not going to be able to mill because they were too small, and we brought them back to our property. Step two was to put them on a sawmill and cut off slabs that were 7/8 of an inch thick, which is about the thickness of our pins. Step three is to split them into manageable sizes, and splitting is better than continuing to saw because you'll follow the grain lines and make the pins a little bit stronger. Once they're split, we put them on the vise and use a draw knife to get them down to roughly the right dimension. And then we drive them through a little, I don't know what you'd call it, a jig or a mold? I'm not sure what the word for it is. But we made it out of some 1-inch pipe and some 3/4 inch pipe that we've sharpened the tip of. So as we drive them through, they will take the shape of the inside diameter of the pipe. And when we're done, we end up with an oak dowel with a slightly sharpened end that will be used to hold together our frame. Like I say, we had to make about 85 of them, and it's been a little tedious, but we're down to our last 5, and I thought I might as well make a video before I forgot. Well, this is frustrating. We have about 3 days left before I have guys come in to help raise the frame. These are a few guys I've met in town, one that we knew in Colorado, and they're really excited to come and help with the project, and I really need them. But first we got to get all those timbers up to the site and assembled, and the snow is not the best time to do it because the timbers are just going to get wet, and we just don't have enough tarps to keep timbers covered on the stack and timbers covered at the site at the same time. We also need to spend some time oiling all the timbers, and that just doesn't work when it's snowing. It's just a bad idea. The oil starts to gum up a little bit, and you can actually see the water start to kind of mix with the oil, and it just makes it kind of a gummy mess. So it's not best. Plus, the timbers that are wet, they don't really take the oil, so it's just a waste of money to try to oil them when it's this snowy. I'm just kind of walking around the property. Honestly, I'm kind of moping and just seeing what we can get done. But we've got to hurry. We've got a lot to do before Sunday. When the team shows up to raise it, maybe we can take some pieces inside and oil oil some inside the pole barn. It's just really cramped, and there's not really room in there for large timbers. That's probably what we have to do.
Daddy, why are you oiling it?
That's a good question. The oil helps protect the wood from getting wet, but it also helps protect the wood from drying out too fast. When the wood dries out too fast, it cracks. Do you see some of these long cracks? See that long crack right there? When we put oil in that crack, it slows down the cracking because the outside of the wood dries faster than the inside of the wood. We have chosen to use this oil to treat our lumbers called Heritage Natural Finishes. It has all natural ingredients. It has basically linseed oil, tung oil, beeswax, and pine rosin, and it's awesome. It smells like oranges, but it's friggin' expensive. So trying to be somewhat sparing on the use of it, but we're gonna need more. This is a 3 gallon. We're probably gonna need about 5 more. But I really like it. It looks pretty. It doesn't really change the color of the wood very much, just darkens it just slightly like an oil would do. But it should make this frame last many, many, many years. We've been carrying timbers up to the job site for a couple hours now, and it is a lot of work. They're much heavier than we thought they were, especially to carry them so far. It takes 3 of us to move 1 timber, and they're not even the biggest ones. But they gotta get up here somehow. Okay, we've come a long way on this project. Today we are driving the first pin, permanent pin, into the frame. I might have called it a peg on the last video, but pin, peg, you know, same thing. This is one of the mallets we'll be using. Yeah, that's not special effects, that's really it. It's good to make a really, really big mallet for knocking these things around because they're very heavy, and they need a little convincing sometimes, and that's called the, was it? Persuader. The Persuader. It's double-sided too. Yeah, this one's a little less persuasive. All right, first pin. Look down your hole and make sure you're... We needed straps the first time.
No, mine will go. Mine will go.
Let's do... Here's the reason I want to do this one first. We have to put a strap on. I'd rather strap the high end because it'd just be easier to work. Strap.
Will yours go?
No.
No, I knocked it out, huh?
Yeah. Just
Can you drive your pin enough that it'll keep it in? Just drive your pin enough and I'll hit my end in.
Dude, the first wet pin. So how far out are you?
A lot. Like maybe strap that far out.
Yep, strap.
I think if you hit it, I can get it in. And how would I have it like this?
Yep. You ready?
Yep.
Watch your knees, please. Took it.
Yeah, I did.
Let's do it again. Let's just time it up.
Okay.
Like, dude, what kind of cinematic genius thought of that? So I want to get about an 1/8 inch off this. Good. Within an 1/8 inch, let's leave it.